Scorpio, it's your girl Tasha, aka Mama Gem, aka Gem the Butterfly. I'm here with your very last week of 16, your last week of 16 weekly reading going into 2017. I just want to say thank you to everyone that's been liking, sharing, and subscribing to my videos. Thank you for having patience with me, sugars, for hanging in there. I know I didn't do y'all. Your girl was tired. I didn't mean to not do them. I didn't intend to not do them. That was my goal, but it seemed like every day I tried to get them, I just could not. I did not have the strength. I felt like maybe I was feeling Mercury retrograde energy early, but it wasn't coming out. And I don't believe in giving you crappy ass readings. Y'all should know that by now. When I read for you, I put heart and soul into it, and I did not. Heart and soul wasn't there, and I did not give you something half-assed. So please, please find it in your heart to forgive you, girl. But I am here now. I have the playing cards for the last week of March, and then we're going to use the traditional Rider-Waite for February, all right? So let's just see what we have coming in for this very last week as we end off. And this will be for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising, all right? Okay, Scorpio. Scorpio, you had a card to pop out. Ooh. And no, I was not trying to sound like young MA. Ooh, no. Scorpio, you have Ace of Wands here, or the Ace of puppy toes, clubs, whatever, what have you. There's a new financial beginning. I feel like for some of you, there's a level of optimism. There's energy coming in for you. There's a level of passion. I feel like creativity is going to be on a higher level for you going into teen. I feel like some of you are definitely taking advantage of this new moon energy. I think the new moon is coming in Capricorn, if I'm not mistaken, on the 9th, y'all. I don't know. Please forgive me if I'm wrong, but I believe the new moon is coming in. Yeah. Yes. 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 Okay, so look. Again, even for you, Scorpios, I feel like you're taking definitely what you've learned in teen and you're building off of it in teen. And what I mean by that is, for you, I feel like you're like, I forgot who I was talking to, one of the other signs before, and I was like, yeah, your teen started in early December. I really feel like for you, Scorpios, your teen started in July. Okay, something you implemented back then between I feel like late summer, July, September, something that you've been working on. Okay, slowly but surely, you've had some ups and downs. You've learned some experiences. You learn from your mistakes, and I feel like it feels like to me you've come up with a better mate. And for some of you, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. It's about time management. It's about organization. It's about prioritization. It's about how to make things work more efficiently for you. One thing I like about you, Scorpio, is that same practical, strategic attitude that you have is like slow and steady wins the race. I will not be moved. I will not be discouraged. It's taking you into team. The only difference now is that you have a more stronger emotional backing, a stronger mental backing. I feel like you have more of a solid foundation. I feel like your vision is starting to come to fruition. But you have a little longer, you have much longer to go, but you're starting to see improvements. So that can apply to any area of your life, whether this is business, whether it's a health change. I really don't feel love. It could possibly be, but I don't really feel love at this time. I feel like this is something outside. It feels like it has a more outside influence. Something that you have to manipulate from the outside. Not to say that you cannot manipulate love, but it doesn't give me a relationship type feeling. If it's a relationship, it's a relationship with yourself. And one thing I do like about this is that you're not being so hard on yourself. I don't know if I said that before. Like, you're really being compassionate, because there is a level here of maturity. I feel like you have definitely, and this is a little bit more than a week, but I feel like you're coming to, this is like, this last week for you is like a year in review of the last maybe 6 months for whatever you've been doing. I feel like you've been working behind the scenes, and you realize that you're heading towards a more a master level of I guess achievement or skill. Okay, so for some of you, you could have completed some type of certification. Some of you have reached a short term goal, and that what that has done in return is inspire you to go even harder. Is what I said about this ace. Any, I like this. You guys, you have like amazing tenacity and resilience, and it shows in these cards. And it's like, you know what? I figured out what I did wrong. You know, some of you, I feel like for some of you, and that can be for all of you, but some of you are really working on something like major as far as it feels like I feel like some of you like in a lab. You feel like you're in a lab and you feel as if, excuse me guys, I gotta move this. My incense are coming towards me, baby. You feel like you're in a lab or you feel like you're creating something. So, you know, whether you're a chef, where you work with chemicals, whether you work with product, you know, hair products, whatever you work with, I feel like it's like a lot of trial and error. And whereas before you have gotten easily discouraged, you're not doing that anymore. And whatever it is, you found the code and you're ready to take what you learned and pull that into the team. I'm gonna get off of that. Let's see what we have. I'm seeing for there. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. Scorpio, y'all know that was supposed to come out like that. Scorpio, I have okay, your two cards that came out had a little extra message for you. Four of Cups, Ace of Cups. Both of these cards, the first thing that I notice is that you have something being offered to you. You have gifts, you have help, you have help. And I feel like this help is the gift of inspiration. Okay. I feel like for some of you, your intuition is going to be definitely heightened. I feel like you're going to be getting if you don't take time. No, that's not what I'm saying. Inspiration is going to come in your alone time. Make sure you make time to be alone. Have some type of alone time. Meditation. Maybe you're in the tub, taking a bath, in the shower, on the way to work. Turn the radio down. Listen, because your voice, your higher self is talking to you, and I don't want you guys to miss these messages. Okay. I feel like that's what these two cards are telling you. General energy, the sun in reverse. While this is all happening, it's time to put in that work. You got to put some work in, baby. Some of you just be tired, but I feel like with the ace, that's that energy of the ace of I want to call it, keep kind of puppy toe, a club at the very end of that's going to help you, give you that little energy boost. Okay, some of you really need to consider adding more green vegetables, leafy green vegetables in your diet to give you a little bit more energy, drinking a little bit more water. Some of you are just dehydrated. And I feel like, I'm going to just tell you, I feel like these two cups could be just the gift of hydration. Drink some water, children. You need water, okay? Wonderful ideas come to you if you allow yourself to be hydrated. Trust me, don't doubt it. Career, Page of Pentacles in reverse, Judgment, and your finances. I feel, with love, you have the Six of Swords in reverse, health, Temperance in reverse. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna skip over to let me go to, you have 1, 2, 3 major arcana cards this month, Scorpio, and I'm going to skip and look at health right now. I feel like, again, some of you are not getting enough sun with the sun here in reverse. Some of you be suffering from seasonal affective disorder or seasonal depression. So if it's in your budget, or if you're near someplace sunny, you think about taking a small little weekend vacation so you can get a little bit of sun. Something feels off balance. Some of you, and I feel like this could be your water balance. With the Temperance in reverse, you're not drinking enough. Some of you actually on the other side, you may not be drinking enough water. Some of you be drinking too much liquor. Okay, because there's a feeling of lowness here. Not for everybody, but you know who you are. So if you've been drinking a lot and you've been throwing that head back, you better watch it, because I feel like it's you're gonna see. I feel like for some of you, you're seeing that it doesn't have the same effect on you any longer. Okay. You're really needing to be more present within your day-to-day life, and being truthful. I'm hearing with yourself, coming to grips with something, reconciling an issue within yourself. It's time for a healing here. The sun in the reverse is, I feel like that's never a negative card. I feel like there is optimism here, but there is still some. I feel like there's optimism, but there's a feeling. It feels like there's still like a little cloud there. I don't know how to. The best way that I can describe it, and you're just gonna have to follow me. You know how you at a party, maybe a small gathering, and everybody's having a lot of fun. Everybody just singing and dancing or whatever, and then you have this one person who is just sitting there off in the corner. And I'm gonna just have to tell you what I see. They're sitting here off in the corner, and their mood, they're not being the best of moods, and you even look at them and like, why the hell are you even here if you're not even going to get up and celebrate with people? But their mood just kind of throws things off just a little bit, but not to the point that it shuts everything down. Okay. And I hope you understand what I'm saying, because that's the feeling that I feel. I feel like everything is going good, but there's still something, a part of you that makes you feel like, all right, meh. All right, meh, meh. Right. That's what I feel. Okay. So it feels like everything is not in complete alignment. I'm seeing it. Okay, which is still in the grand scheme of things, it still feel pretty good. But I feel like for some of you, you're wanting that blissful, joyful, happy feeling, but it's not that way this month for you. Part of the reason could be just because you just could be just really tired. Again, I can't stress it enough. I feel like some of you need to get hydrated. Some of you are just need much more water than what you think you do, or maybe need to eat more high vibrational foods to help lift to raise your vibration. Some of you are not getting out into nature, and maybe that be an issue as well. When it comes to career, you have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like for some of, if you've been actively looking for a job, I feel like there'd be some delays about hearing back if you received the position. I feel like for some of you, your focus at work is not really going to be there. I feel like you are definitely that go-to person at your job, but things just seem kind of off with you right now. During the month of, let me figure out why. With the Queen of Swords here, you have somebody around you that is just demanding so much of you that it's very hard for you to keep your focus on everything. Remember, if you are in a position to delegate, please make sure that you can delegate other responsibilities to other people. If you are not in a position to delegate, and I feel like if you are being placed in a position where it seems like all the work is being placed on you, and I feel like one of the reasons why this is happening is because you are good at what you do, Scorpio, but you don't have an arms, okay? That's why this person has to carry all of these wands with these two hands, because he doesn't have hands. He doesn't have arms. So I feel like if you feel like you're in over your head, please communicate that with somebody. I don't feel like this is not a time to be passive aggressive. This is not a time to, try to be superwoman, superman. You don't have time for that, okay? Because I feel like you have other things on your plate. So, and it's not going to be considered being incapable of doing your job. I feel like that is making a mature decision on a mature career decision on your half, to be able to let somebody know. And this doesn't just affect within this. It just doesn't happen within your career. This could be over any other area in your life. If it's something because what's going on here with this, I feel like you're going to try to persevere with it, and I commend you with that. But I feel like you're going to run yourself, in the ground. So For some of you, you just feel like you need to press forward with it, or you're working with somebody who feels very demanding to me. I feel like you need to go ahead and let them know straight up. If you're struggling, you're not going to be able to make a deadline. You need to communicate that ahead of time. Okay, either ask for help or let them know that I'm gonna need an extension. Okay, and don't try to don't. I feel like I hear somebody saying, "Well, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be." No, you don't owe anybody else an apology, because I feel like for some, and you know who you are, you're helping this person out. You making this other person look good, so they need to be helping you help them. Okay, I'm off of that. Get off the soapbox. Finances with the Judgment card. Some of you may be reaching some type of settlement within the month of January. Some of you may be starting some type of legal case. I feel like there's small claims court. Some of you will be paying fines, maybe paying dues. um, I'm hearing that some of you are actually paying the very last bit of your restitution. Congratulations. Yes, and there's going to be a party when you're done. Okay, there's some type of, whether you're receiving or you're paying something out, something feels finite to me, and it feels like there's a cause for a celebration. Some of you at the very end of February maybe getting ready to file the taxes. Could be that too, but I feel like there's a little legality here. So some of you, it be a settlement of payments, or yeah, some of you will be receiving some type of inheritance as well. I feel like you have, and if this has happened, if you've had someone to pass on, my condolences to your family, but I feel like you will be compensated. You'll be hearing word about your piece is going to have to be split three ways, or between three different mothers. Some of you, this be about child support. Maybe you finally reached an agreement with baby daddy or baby mama, whatever, what have you, husband, ex-wife, and everybody's happy. We can move forward now. Within love, you have the Six of Swords in reverse. There's some type of inner turmoil here. I feel like there's some stagnation. It feels like there's a relationship that's trying to move forward, but it's stuck. I'm gonna get one more card. Yeah, I feel like for some of you, you're really stuck, as you're torn whether you need to move forward or whether you need to stay. I feel like for some of you, if you're deciding to stay, I feel like you're staying with the realization that you have to do, you got certain responsibilities are going to be placed on you. This would be more so for the females than the males. That certain responsibilities are going to be placed on you, and if you're deciding to stay, that's just going to be what it is, and you're just going to have to learn how to deal with it if you choose to stay. Because I feel like for some of you, it feels like you've tried and tried and tried to weather the storm, and you have been weathering the storm as a couple, but I do feel like something doesn't feel even. Another card. Yeah, something doesn't feel even. Maybe regarding finances or the responsibilities between the two parties. But whatever it is, one person is, I feel like they're compromising for the sake of the relationship to stay. Um, I feel like some of you wish it could go back to the way that it used to be. Some of you and again, some of you, if you're not planning to stay and you're contemplating leaving, I feel like this may not be the month for you to do that, just because you need more information. You need to save up more money before you can go. Um, yeah, yeah. I also hear too that there are, for some relationships, and this is not all. You guys remember I am reading for a lot of people, but there be. I'm just going to put it out there. I feel like somebody makes more money, and I feel like a female makes more money than the male, and it's an issue. It's an issue, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I feel like he doesn't like it in some regards. Okay. So whether you're that female or you're dating that Scorpio female, or whoever, I just feel like there's some type of discord and somebody does not like it. Okay. Um, but whatever it is, both parties, if you're going to stay in a relationship, it feels like whatever it is, this is how it's going to be. So either you make peace with it and let's keep going, or we need to go our separate ways. However, there does feel like there is some type of stagnation here right now for that, because you don't want to. Neither party wants to make the wrong move. All right. We talked about health. Let's get your, that's interesting. Let's get a self-care card for Scorpio. Well, for Scorpio, January 2017 for the Scorpio. Magnificence. Love on yourself, sugars. Yeah, you see that card? She's hugging herself like, girl, you are the bomb.com. And yes, she's speaking back to herself saying, yes, I know that I am. Own your magnificence. The magnificence. The world needs your brilliance and grace. Like I said earlier, there is a time for you to be more tender with yourself, as far as definitely what you're putting into your body, how you're treating your body, what are you saying to yourself, that and that goes back to that move with the party scenario, because everybody in the party is a representation of you, even that person in the corner that is kind of sulking a little bit because everybody else is having fun. All right. So be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself. You have to remember that you are responsible, you are solely responsible for boosting your own opinion about yourself up. No one else has that control over you. You can't allow other people to have that type of control over you. You have to know that you are the shit. And I feel like for some of you, there be instances within this month to make you doubt yourself that you are not the shit. But I'm here to tell you, Scorpio, that you are the shit, because you have gifts, you have help here, and I feel like the Creator is gifting these opportunities and inspiration and creative excuse me, creativity to you, and sparks of intuition to you, to remind you of who you are. All right. This is the month where it's time for you to turn this sun upside down, turn it right side up, and be more open and more loving to yourself and have more fun. This is a good beginning for you. I just feel like for some of you, be aware of your limitations, and don't be afraid to say that you have limitations. That doesn't make you any less of a person. If you need help, you are still the bomb.com. Okay. You are still magnificent. Even if you need help, you are still the bomb.com. If you can't meet that deadline, you know what I'm saying? So just remember that, excuse me, during the month of February, remember that I love you, and I will see you soon. Hopefully I will see you in February. If not before then, I'll do something a little bit, add in something different before then. Who knows? Y'all never know. All right, guys. I love you. Bye.